Welcome everyone to the Master Vox, where today we have a riveting game from the Steel Division League monthly tournament. With me co-casting will be the Grand Slam. Graham, would you like to introduce the players here and take it away?
I would be honored here on. Wait, I just blanked. We're on Bobber, right? Yeah, we're
Yeah,
on
Bobber, yeah.
On the left-hand side here, in the blue, we have ColKoenig, not playing a French division, but playing his fourth Fallschirmjäger Maverick. And then on the right, we have Host. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. We're gonna go with Host playing as Group Dottie as Maverick as well. So a nice Maverick on Maverick matchup here on probably the most entertaining of the river maps, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think that, like, out of all the river maps, like, Borber is, like, one of the best ones just because, like, it's all determined by, like, what we see as up north, in my opinion. Or, if shit goes weird, like we're seeing down south, like, the south can somehow maybe try to figure this shit out. It's just a weird river map that allows you to have some opportunities and options for, like, where you want to push or where you can push, you know?
Yeah, and this is really weird in terms of the southern push. Normally, if there's a southern push from our perspective, right? You're gonna typically see it from host's side, right?
Yeah.
Getting this access to the hill, using long-range fire support to get down into the opposite bank here. Normally, ColKonig's side pushes the northernmost spot, gets in there on that hill, and then kind of uses that as a leverage point to then push down as well. Like, kind of like opposite directions in terms of movement. So it's unusual to see this from ColKoenig. Mainly because you can hide AT guns on that backside of the hill here. Like, it can be hard to take this town from his position.
Yeah, but at the same time, if he can actually push through and, like, do an actual blitz through this area, it's one of the harder places to, like, get back, just because, like, again, if you can put AT guns from blue side onto the back of the hill,
yeah.
right where this 37 is, yeah, no fucking reinforcements are getting through that shit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There is also the aspect both sides have two flags up for grab, whether you go for north versus south, though typically a northern push involves taking that peninsula kind of right there as well, so that way you get three flags, maybe sometimes even reaching and grabbing the crossroads flag, which is what gets you the double tick going pretty quickly. That obviously won't be quite the case here because he will need to then get into the town that's below the hill line here, or I guess depending on your perspective, right above the hill line, right? From north to south. But a Tiger E being called out, that's kind of an interesting decision. There really is no heavy armor for Dottie, but I wouldn't necessarily want my Tiger E CQCing with the possibility of, like, M10s, M1 guns, and stuff like that. This isn't war game.
Yeah, well, the thing that you have to look at with the AP shells, they're 130, and then the Tiger's armor is 125, so they can penetrate it whenever you get really close, but also you have to think Dradi has a decent amount of, like, bazookas, because they have the right. American Airborne. We are seeing some American rifles come in, American Airborne, but are they the ones? Whoop, nope, they're the LMG ones, but they do have the bazooka ones as well. You have the glider rifles coming in; those are bazooka ones. So you're going to see a lot of, like, close quarter anti-tank. And I wonder if this Tiger E is being brought to the back of this this hill where the LG-40 and everything is prepped to push over, and it's going to be used to, like, be anti-tank in that sense.
I think it's going to be he's going to try and go over the top in one kind of big push, have everything go up together. This is very light on infantry. He's also giving a lot of time for a host to respond here and get infantry units dug in. So we'll see how effective this is, because this is a big difference. Like, when you cast, like, Steel Division versus War Game, there's so many units across the board here that really, if you look up north, like, ColKoenig and Host both have a lot of firepower, basically doing nothing. So it's interesting that we're gonna see basically one section of the map receive the vast majority of contact here, especially as we see in the forest line. Those those masquerades are engaging. We see I think that's Gomer, right?
Yeah, Gomers, yeah.
Gomer, yeah, engaging along with AB rifles, the M8, a little M37, which I like that M37 placement. If he can clear that forest out, he could get some nasty little side shots.
Penetration.
He does actually have 70mm pin. Oh, there goes the M8.
Yep, but that 37mm is about to unload, and then it's going to be able to start taking pot shots at these Italian
I don't think there's an angle there. We do see the 45mm mortar going out right there. That's obviously very popular in this day and age for the SC2 community at the top level, which I don't know who Host is. No offense to Host. I know who ColKoenig is, though. I've played against him multiple times. I've casted him multiple times. I've known him as a player for, 4 or 5 years now. Yeah. I would almost any match, if I don't know the player, I'm going to favor him. His position is better, I would say, at this point in time. 80 rifles, a big problem with them is going to be they have 30 cals, right? So
Yeah.
if you try to engage at a medium range, even against that Fallschirmjäger, already Fallschirmjäger, but with MG34 infantry, I'd be a little careful with that. We do see the HE-111 called out, the recon bomber, which is just really, or the recon plane doesn't have any bombs.
Yeah.
It is funny that is an actual recon
It's
plane.
chunky recon. Yeah, chunky recon.
Yeah, I've never been a big recon opener guy, like we talked about last cast, unless it's like there's multiple utility with it. Like if that thing had bombs in it, I'd bring it every time.
Oh, like the Russell Sprung
like
one. Yeah.
Yes, the Russell Sprung one, or my favorite one's the Fedunken SU6.
Oh yeah. But we see that push happening.
Nice yeah, that push is going in, and it's kind of like how I called it there. He's gonna go in one at a time, like World War I style here, over the top. He wants a massive amount of firepower, but Fallschirmjäger are taking heavy damage here with the M8 trading with the AB43, or the not the M8, the Stewart trading there.
LG40 kills it.
Yep, that goes down, and then so did the really quickly. The M10 was knocked out really fast there. No, not even a shot on that Tiger. So this is a very strong push now from Colonel Koenig. Host had the opportunity to try and stabilize his position. He didn't put enough in there. An emergency M10 being called out. That M3 isn't unloaded yet. And now I would say he's very much in the driver's seat. And if he can exploit this, he could probably win the game in this move.
Yeah, no, this is a real big power play here. What we're seeing with this giant push. And Host, I think it's Ghostdragon is his actual name in the Discord.
Okay.
But I don't know. People change their name in game all the time. So I just go with whatever's in game normally.
Yeah, no offense, Ghostdragon.
Just use your real name if you want me to cast it. Yeah.
He watches a lot of anime.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I love me some anime.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with that. I was just saying the Tiger E pushing up here though. The glide rifle has a bazooka. But it's not going to shoot. Wow.
What's going on?
Because he's on return fire only.
Oh shit! Yeah, because it's holding fire. Oh no.
Yeah, he's holding fire. There was an opportunity right there to get a side shot with the bazooka.
Oh no, a side shot again. Oh, he's doing it. He got a hit.
He's doing it now. He fires. So there's the pin. That's a big thing. The Tiger will take 2 bazooka hits, but the reload here, if he's good with his micro.
Is it going in? Is it going in? Is it going?
Should connect. It should kill the Tiger, and it will. Huge pick there by Ghostdragon. Let's see if he can actually capitalize now. He bought a 105 artillery piece. I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't like to be that explicit sometimes with my criticism of players, but I do not like that move. Whether it works out or not in the game, he needs force and momentum and counterattacking here. You don't want to allow Colonel Koenig to start setting up in this position. I mean, he does have an infantry advantage currently, but there's such a massive amount of firepower on this hill, even with the Tiger dead. Like, these M10s can die to the heat rounds. Like
that's actually what killed it from the last one was the LG40's heat rounds. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think you need that violence and you need that momentum. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing a flank from Host. And if you look at that bridge flag, it's been taken from the forest French.
Yeah, Colonel Koenig on the flip side, I don't like the 120 buy. Not only has it not fired, I think one time, where I think it's a full complement of shells.
Yeah, it's a full shell load.
Oh, he's also buying another Tiger E. Yeah, at this point, I don't think I would double down on the heavier armor. I don't think in Steel Division 2, most of the time, this is not a universal statement, but most of the time, the heavy tank isn't worth the investment. Anti-tank firepower is just so strong in this game, and with the HP system and not being able to repair your tank, it's very situational. So you really want your heavy armor when you can maximize its range. In this engagement here, you cannot, it's the complete opposite, right? You're CQCing with a Tiger tank, you know? Isn't that how Whitman died in real life?
No, I think he died for being a retard, but that's just me.
Maybe. I'm just saying, I don't think he was blapping things at 2,000 meters when he got.
Yeah, because he died in a French
ambush,
village,
right?
or something like that, with
Yeah.
some British fireflies.
Yeah, I think he got ambushed in a village or something, and I don't know. Someone in the comments, I'm sure, can educate us.
Yeah, let us know how wrong we are. Yeah, just hearing that's probably nails on a chalkboard to someone no, he actually, and then they're gonna type it all out for us.
Right, they're gonna type it all out. But hey, that's engagement, because make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Ooh, good call. Hey, he's actually using that 120 mortar, and he's firing HE.
With that M8 running across the north there, it's going to get a Panzerpalus right into its side here by a Fallschirmjäger. Now, this is a problem, I think, from Colonel Koenig's perspective now. He's lost momentum here. Doesn't mean it's over by any means in the southern push. He can obviously regain the momentum, but he has lost it. I think that it's time to start looking for other areas, and I would go into the middle peninsula. Getting across at the same time, Ghostdragon's he's going across the river. He said, "Let's go, boys, sally up!" Like we're crossing this river here in eastern, in Belarus. 81mm mortar engaging, trying to see if he can do damage.
He is pushing up north. Like, that's surprising because we're not seeing any. Well, we are seeing a ZF response to the middle.
The sniper recon unit right there, along with the Moss 36s, which is a hot rifle, by the way. This is a very sexy gun. Killing the Sturm Pioneer, which is actually pretty nasty because there's such a good CQC unit, the Fallschirmjäger Sturm Pioneer.
Yeah.
And if you're Ghostdragon, you can set up on the base of that hill. It can be very hard to get the double tick at that point, from Colonel Koenig's perspective.
That's interesting. He's throwing the 45mm mortar on an attack move. Huh?
Where?
Up in the north area, the northern peninsula. Oh, he's also bombing the shit out of it. And that 1,000-pound into like few 250s.
That's an emergency bomber buy right there.
That is.
That's a panic bomber buy, and it's gonna miss mostly.
Yeah,
it did some decent damage to the one of the Masquerade squads, but it didn't do any other damage to the other the Moroccan infantry squad. We see them engaging. Now, that squad is sexy. It's really thick, very thick boy. But on the flip side, but on the flip side, Fallschirmjäger Pioneer will eat them for breakfast like they're eating Claire in that green forest. So
yeah, but I like where he's at right now, where he's allowing the Fallschirm Pioneer to engage at over 100 meters against the Gomers, because he knows as soon as that satchel gets thrown, the Gomers are going to lose like what, 5 to 8 hit points.
At least 5 to 8. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very good. This is where like you can see like Colonel Koenig's longevity in the game is really showing itself here. He's had a bad couple minutes, but he's responding well. He's still at a 12-12 with more tick. A Sturmpanzer 4x for the north. Very interesting.
Yeah, but that LG-40, if you look here, just killed off one of the Stewards that was trying to push over. So he does have fire support.
P-47 died in and killed the LG-40 down there.
Oof.
There's action all over the map right now. Both players, it was really stagnant for a minute. Both players now kind of investing here. This attack in the north is going to be pushed back here by these Fallschirmjäger Pioneers. And if I'm Ghostdragon, I'm probably calling it here. It's just, at this point in time, pushing into Fallschirmjäger in that kind of position, you're going to need more support firepower. So you're really going to need your artillery to start dropping.
Yeah, and he's at 81mm mortars, so he's probably going to create a second line of defense over there with a Montague he's calling in.
Also, I'd just like to point out that M3-105 has only fired 2 shells. It was 55 points. It wasn't super expensive, but just I just want to further support to my claim. It hasn't done anything.
Now, do you think he's using that as if it is an LG-40 with the 2K direct fire?
That's exactly what he's doing it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, he's using it as an LG-40.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's a great tool. There's no doubt whatsoever. The point is that, I think that, at this point, maybe he's kind of accepted, hey, I'm not going to get in there. But I thought after the killing of that Tiger, there was a real opportunity. If he had done like a full point dump, maybe 2 point dumps, there he could have really counterattacked. Now it's going to be, hey, I'm engaging in a long-term fight with you, and against somebody with as many hours in the video game as Colonel Koenig, I don't know if that's what I would want to do.
Now, if you look the center, like above the push that Colonel Koenig did, like the mid-south, we'll call it, I guess. We're actually seeing Host push across.
He's going across the river.
Yeah, and he's getting a foothold.
He says, I don't need no bridge. But these Fallschirmjäger Pioneers, they're getting caught here in the open. He's going to... Yeah, there's a lot of firepower there because those are the multiple airborne rifles right there with the double Brownings. The Browning is kind of like one of the worst LMGs. He used to be one of the worst LMGs. But when you get enough Brownings in one spot, it don't matter, right? Like, you got enough machine guns and we're good. That Z1 1007 gonna go and get some more bombs dropped in here. That should do really good damage here on these airborne rifles, and it will take on half of the glider rifle HP and then killing one whole squad.
Yeah, but at the same time, that Montague's bar is still like a really big thorn in his side.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because like if you throw in the armor, like the SPWs, the bazooka's gonna kill it, and we have such limited line of sight. Well, the Parody Assaulto, they're going to have a fun time.
I don't think you're calling the open, though, because right here we're going to see... Oh, no, he's got him on a hold fire once again.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, he's letting them open up now, so we're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see rifles open up along with those. Oh no, he's not. I thought he was.
Nope,
gonna
now he
okay.
is.
Oh, a Panther bought out for the north as well.
Ooh.
So a Sturmpanzer, hot Brumbar action, MG42, more pair of Saltos. I'm really surprised he hasn't gone for the Peninsula, Colonel Koenig. I mean, he literally has one of the best CQC infantry units in the game. I mean, 9 Berettas. That unit has 9 Berettas.
Like, it's an Obto if Obtos were good, like, but they are good now. But
it's an
you get what I'm
Obto
saying.
from 2020.
Yeah, no, that's the way to say it. Like, it is past patches Obtos. There we go.
We can see the Tiger E down south engaging with the M10. The M10 trying to get a shot into it. It just gets pinned right there as the 105 sitting as well.
Ooh.
Oh, but a pin for the M10. I mean, you trade out base M10s for Tigers
every
single day.
Oh,
Tiger
shit.
misses.
Oh, bounce!
What a bounce! This is really intense here as we see that 105 trying to drop in as well. M10's going to get a shot off.
Oh, they both trade!
Massive kill there for Ghostdragon because there's now 2 M10s on the field here. He's got his mortar opening up. If he can get rid of that Fallschirmjäger Führer there, he'll get his flag back. And this is, once again, I hate to say that I'm that smart, but I think I am. Like the Tiger E, that's just not where you want to use her. And Colonel Koenig, he's acting like he's playing War Thunder right now.
But I think the problem you're running into is the choice of division because
absolutely.
What we're seeing here is we're seeing that this division relies heavily and almost exclusively on heavy armor, right? So you have the Tigers, you have the Elephant, of course, if you're mildly brain damaged in a 1v1, right?
Hell no.
But you also have the Panthers, but that's all the armor you get other than the Italian Stugs, right?
Yep.
But there's only one card of Italian Stugs and he took it in A. So that's the only medium armor he has. And so that you're going to start seeing the punishment in the sense that every one Panther is the cost of 2 M10s.
Yeah, I was just really quick. I was just going to say, and he's done it. Now's the time to buy the Morser. If you're Colonel Koenig, you're not going to win through brute force at this point. You've lost too many heavy units here. I mean, the Panther is dead. Yeah, the Panther's dead to the
Pack 40.
Pack 40.
Yeah.
We missed that. But now, once again, that kind of highlights what I said earlier, that using heavy armor in Steel Division 2 is kind of a trap. Like, if you have, Slutsk West, right, and we can set up an IS-2 and let it go to town at 2,000 meters, I'm all about it. Go to town, baby. But when you're on a map like this, it's very hard to get the maximum value out of a heavy tank. I would not want to spend more than 100 points on a tank right now, unless it was I just knew that it was going to take something insanely heavy to kill it. The strength, like you talked about, the strength of his deck is in the infantry and support firepower in terms of the artillery tab. I mean, you get a 140-point Morser. That's pretty insane. The Air Force actually isn't that bad. I think he's kind of cheaped out.
Yeah.
On his air tab, you can get some good planes for 4th Fallschirmjäger.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that there is one spot that's worth bringing in a heavy tank, and that's where I'm highlighting here between that Obusia M8 and that AAB or SPW 43 in the southern portion, because you can get effective 2K fire down on reinforcement roads, right? But other than that, there is no purpose for a heavy tank. Because I remember getting absolutely bent over the nearest table by a KV2 on this map before, where it locked down that entire southern portion.
Well, I think the if you're gonna bring heavy armor, the best position is from Ghostdragon's side.
Yeah.
You set up on that hill, like you're talking about, and you fire downwards into that town. That's a great spot to put heavy armor. But from Colonel Koenig's point of view, I really just don't. You gotta use what you gotta use. But I mean, in this day and age in SC2, between autocannons, light vehicles, I mean, there's nothing. Those Stugs he has can kill M10s from the front.
Yeah.
And now we see up north a long-range infantry engagement going along the riverbank here. But M10s are coming up. There's not a lot of anti-armor here. We do see the Stug M42 trying to get a shot here, but it misses, barely missing the M10.
Oh, but it's got the second shot.
Well, look at right there, a pin by that dumb little Italian tank. That we do see a bounce right there, so that's kind of the downside.
Oh, it's bouncing like crazy. Oh, who's gonna get this kill?
He wants to pull it back here.
Oh, M10 got it. Yep.
He should have backed up after the initial pin.
See,
it might not matter though.
I honestly think this is a perfect map for your average bullshit T-34 or Sherman, right? If you're looking at the Allies,
it's a great Sherman map.
It's an amazing Sherman map. Yeah, and then if you're looking at Axis, anything Panzer IV, perfect.
Panzer IIIs.
Yeah,
Like anything that's like you don't like, you're okay with losing it, right? You need to accept that Steel Division 2 has always had this case. Anti-tank guns are superior for the most of the time. They just are. They have it. Their HP pool's better. It's easier for you to understand.
Yeah.
Once your tank is pinned, it's basically one hit away from death. Like you're like, it doesn't matter if it was 200 points or 20 points. So I would rather just use 75 point, 80 point, tanks.
Yeah.
Than have to rely on a big old 130 pointer.
Like, the only time I'll disagree with you with that is if you can have, like, that 2K heavy tank on heavy tank engagement, right? Like, you're talking Koing's Tiger on IS-2, or, like, Panther on, like, whatever.
It feels so rare, though.
Yeah, you don't really see them. Like, T-3485 with the 2K range, right? Like,
I mean, here's another thing with German armor. Why would I, as a German player, I would be scared to go against any Soviet unit that has, like, IS-2s, for example, right? Or Su-152s that have the ability to one-shot my tank. Like, no German tank has that ability in the game in terms of heavy armor. Like, your 88's not one-shotting anything. This isn't War Thunder. So you always have to keep in mind that when you're going against, especially the heavy Soviet pieces, they might... I don't give a... You might be 3-starred and he's no-starred. And that thing might have a 33% chance to hit. It could hit you, one-tap you, bam, there goes your heavy tank. Bye-bye.
And I can't tell you how many times that's happened with ISU-152s, ISU-122s,
right.
IS-2s, like, just the Soviet, like, fist of Stalin coming through your German armor, and blowing it up in one shot in this game.
Right, Whitman's rolling in his grave. On the flip side, though, from the German perspective, the amount of infantry, like, just diversity across these German decks these days is absolutely insane. This is a great example of it. We have Italian assault troops. We have Fallschirmjäger. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on here, and I really think that Colonel Koenig has missed an opportunity to use superior infantry in these fights, and the longer this goes on, it's gonna be hard. Like, we see an assault into the north here. This should have been the assault to open the game. Because right here, this Stuart might get a shot into one of these, whether it's the assault, the Sturm Pioneer. Oh, no, actually, he didn't shoot. He shot the infantry unit.
All right, so I'm going to rephrase one thing. Colonel Koenig, Host, or Ghostdragon, fuck. If he gets his heavy armor after taking this peninsula up north, like the north, you lock it down completely. That is the best place for any German 2K armor.
That would be a great spot.
Right, yes. So both sides do have one, except you got to bleed for this northern push to get your heavy armor into effective places.
That's why this northern push goes first. This is why, like, typically on this map, 9 out of 10 times, everyone knows it's coming, and it's the opening engagement, and you're like, okay, I'm either, like, this is what we're throwing down, this is going to set the tempo for the rest of the game, because if you can take that northern position, you can really flex it across. Colonel Koenig's problem now is that he's in the game is kind of up in terms of it's coming. It's not going to hit nearly as hard because you've lost so much stuff. I mean, both players have, right?
Yeah.
And also, Ghostdragon setup. I mean, look at this. He has infantry everywhere. We have multiple M10s.
Ooh, that pair of the assault is just getting mowed down. Fuck.
Right. There's no Fallschirmjäger with this. These CQC guys being caught in the open here, and in this point as well, like, this infantry isn't bad by Dottie. Is it the sexiest thing on the planet? No, it's not. Right. They're not, the Kriegsmarine super death troops, but they're good.
No, I really think that Drati here has a lot of, like, 30-point all-round, to include some anti-tank, which is fucking amazing in any U.S. armed divisions, right? Because it's all bazookas. Like, they are a well-rounded division, I would say, in the infantry tab, and what we're seeing here is we're seeing the massive French flex of M10s, right? And the massive French flex of M10s, you gotta think, 2 M10s for every 1 heavy armor piece, to include the Sturmtiger, or Sturmpanzer up there. Like, he'll eventually get armor superiority.
Yeah, at this rate, I mean, both Tigers, almost all the Stugs are on the field, both Tigers are dead, there's 3 Panthers left to be called out.
2, right? Or no, 3, yeah.
There's at least, 7 or 8 M10s left, I think.
Yeah.
2 have died, I think.
So 2 or 3. We'll just give him the benefit of the doubt.
2 or 3 have died.
Yeah.
He has the potential of his deck of 12. So yeah. So I mean, he can call out all. Including what's on the field, right?
Yeah.
8 or 9 M10s still. That's a lot. And expecting on Bomber for your Panthers or your anti-tank guns, like, they really need to start trading, and we're just really not seeing it here. Not that the M10 is necessarily being super not say divisive, right? But it's or it's just at this point in time, I think that if you're both players, you basically have accepted we're going to have to engage in a slugging match. Like, we're two boxers with no skill, so we're just punching each other in the middle of the ring off pure stamina.
Yeah.
And ColKoenig lost a little bit of stamina early in the game trying to dance around like he was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, and I think that he blew his load a little bit too hard in the South. You know what I'm saying here? Like, he invested so much. And then what we saw was the counterattack, because he wasn't able to properly get in there and establish a new, like, defensive line to hold the southern position that he then lost again. And because he lost it, he lost the 2 Tigers, he lost the ability to, like, actually hold the ground. And so now what we're seeing is just, like, probing attacks both ways, right? Up north, in the center, here and there. But because this is a famous Eugen river map, it's pretty much limited to, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crossing points? So, if ColKoenig had been able to exploit the southern portion a little bit better, I think that this would have been a much more interesting match in that, like, whole, like, maneuver element, especially, like, coming with how Ghostdragon would have had to, like, engage coming from, like, these reinforcement roads where the Morser 81mm and the Bofors 40mm is, to try to, like, flank him while he's pushing a different route. But he was able to crack that defense, and now we just see ColKoenig holding on the other side of this hill.
I mean, I'll tell you this right now. I'd make a seeing in projection straight from, like, November 5th of this year. I would bet cash money Ghostdragon is winning this game. It's the attrition rate has been too hard on ColKoenig's deck. It's not a deck that's meant to go 45 minutes. It's just not. Compared, if you post screenshots for your chat, channel, I don't know, right? But he's got 99 infantry units to the 64 ColKoenig. He has 3 times the amount of artillery. He has more planes. He has more tanks. 4th Fallschirmjäger, the way he built it, was the way I would build it. It's meant to hit you hard and fast. Like, I'm punching you in the mouth, and we're ending this game quick. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Ghostdragon is really, it's the opposite. And the longer this goes on, I mean, he can call out so much more artillery. He doesn't need to make large offensive moves. I mean, right now, if you're Ghostdragon, you could literally call out probably 2 more artillery pieces and just shell every single spot you want to go to.
He's got 2 155s up that we haven't even noticed because they haven't shot anything. But
one fired a few shots of counter battery. If you look at the Morser, it's down to 4 HP. Yeah, he's it's on their. Look at that, they're on counter battery. That's what they are. They're now, because that Morser stopped.
Yeah,
so they're now queuing right back up here. Yeah, so you're gonna see those shells come out now. High chance those 2 kill it. Thanks to based Eugen OP counter battery AI.
Yeah, no, the AI. If you got heavy artillery, just use the AI. Screw it. Every player gets it. Just use it to your advantage. I can't tell you how many times I've just clicked fire at will and just let it go, because I'd rather it fire than not fire at all. Because if I'm microing everywhere else.
That's a huge point when it comes to artillery in this game. A lot of times players will buy it, they won't use it to their maximum potential because they forget, right? They're like, oh, I forgot to hit the button, and that's fine. Like, I do think there's a skill element to that. So from someone that's like from Wargame or other stuff. But hey, Eugen gave you the button. If you're not going to be able to micro your artillery in the middle of the game, hit the fire at will button, because it's way better to launch those shells than to not launch them.
Exactly, because
not even.
That was.
Look at that. What I tell you, bro. That's some OP. Those guys are going straight to Dien Bien Phu after this battle right here. You saw that. Just dropped it at 155. I would have left right there. I would have left the minute my Morser took that 1 tap from that 155. I'm out of here.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's crazy. That was the first one. And then looking at this AI right now, I've never noticed this. Because the Morser hasn't fired again, they no longer engage where the Morser was.
They know. They're literally congratulating themselves. They're popping the champagne. Where's the cramp? I don't know. So name some French dish, and they're busting them out right now because that. I mean, now he's gonna start. If he can, like, he start hitting these, get these 155s, put them on fire to will, hit this 88, hit the 47s, hit the baseline of the hill.
Yeah.
I mean, we see an engagement going on up north here as these Fallschirmjäger have been whittled down. We have these Moroccans, these airborne rifles, this multi-ethnic group here going in hot across the other side of the river. And ColKoenig he's really on disaster. He needs to stabilize now, but I just don't. He's buying Fallschirmjäger. It's too expensive at this point.
All right, so
There's no
speaking
stabilizing with
speaking
that.
of the multicultural, we have Partigiani, which are Italians. We have Macassars, which are French. You know, it's just all over the place. And then the Moroccans are up north. Like, it's just all over the place with this. And I love the unit diversity Eugen has put in the game. I'm not gonna lie, that's one of my favorite things about Steel Division.
No, it's absolutely insane. It's crazy to see it, how it is in this game. Fallsbringer Pioneer going down here. There's nothing really. I mean, the only thing holding Host back up in the north is himself. At this point, he could pretty much roll right through here. The middle peninsula, instead of that being taken over as a possible counterattack with Colonel Koenig, that has fallen.
Mm-hmm.
This armor could bust out into the open. Actually, it could. These M8s, that M8 and the M5,
Yeah.
could 100% bust out into the open and do damage. But this is the big problem in Faustschmiger decks. If you allow your Faustschmiger to get whittled down, the longer the game goes on, and you have to start replacing them, it's very expensive. Like, you're talking 30, 35 points. You know, some of them 40 points.
Yeah, the
to
ZF
replace
are
infantry
40,
units.
34
Yeah,
at
like,
30, you know.
That's hard. You know, that gets to a point where your Faustschmiger, it's a mistake a lot of players make. The Faustschmiger don't need to die in the infantry on infantry fight. The best way to do it, get yourself a mortar, just whittle them down. Whittle that HP down. This isn't war, no. This isn't war game. They can't get repaired. There's no more extra squad members jumping out the back of that Gaz Jeep, right? Like, just whittle them down, and eventually, depending, right? I'm not saying they can go Terminator mode, but don't just be like, let me take my 30-point infantry unit and fight that 30-point infantry unit. No, you're probably going to lose 9, 10 times.
Now, this is for the newer players. Whenever you're in those infantry combats, right? If you have a mortar, put it on defensive fire where you're trying to push, and the mortar will do the fire support for you. Again, use the AI. It's there.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing here from Ghostdragon is he could definitely be more aggressive with, not only on the map here, but his 155s haven't shot since they killed that Morser.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, if I was him, like,
we got bombers coming in.
Whatever. Yeah, the double bombers are coming in to try and stabilize here. I would like to see a fighter here, but he doesn't have any. His death. I mean, the P-47 is a multi-role.
Yeah.
I mean, if he killed these Z-100 or 1000s, that would be done. It'd be nothing. We see a Bofors engaging, doing some damage here. Oh, this one's turning at a good angle here for the other Bofors on the baseline of the hill there. I don't think they'll get the kill, but no, they won't.
No, but that H-111 is going to hit a real bad time.
Yeah, she might die.
Yeah, she's getting real dark and scratched up.
I can't wait to look at the visuals for the plane. We're like, how much damage? How much smoke? How thick is that black smoke coming out? It's like looking for the Pope.
It's dummy thick. Oh god, the black smoke.
Right. There's no white smoke coming out here, so next round. But oh, the direct hit right there by a mortar on the M10. That's disgusting. That's funny.
That 120 is really good just because it has the mortar or the radio trait, and then we have like the radio like things up front trying to provide it the ability to get real small.
Yeah.
Where's the firing at next? Let's see here. Oh, because you can't see where it's firing, it's on a defensive fire order or a fire at will.
Yeah, he's just got it. He's just letting it rip.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Ghostdragon is kind of just playing with his food. At this point, I think this game is over. I don't see any way that Colonel Koenig can actually win.
The breakout up north, I think that he doesn't have the ability to have support elements in the form of like any light or medium armor to try to push these guys back. And the infantry trades have just been... They're not abysmal, but it's the Fallschirmjäger tax you pay with how expensive your shit is versus how expensive some of these French units are. Like, the average is like 20 to 30. Like, the Macassars 20, 25 for the Partigiani, the bazooka guys with 2 bars are 30. You know, it's all over the place versus the Germans where it's 30, 30, 30, and then a 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Colonel Koenig's trying to set up in this northern town here, and he does have good infantry. He's got leaders here, so he probably can exact a toll in multiple places here. I mean, as we kind of has to do at this point. He's kind of like, okay, I got to dig in. Maybe my opponent, the skill gap could maybe show if he believes in, like, he has a skill gap over his opponent, that he'll get into these infantry fights in the town, and he could win those at such a high trading level that it can put him back into the game. Rarely does that ever work out. We've all been there and told ourselves that, like, I am better than this dude. He's gonna fight me on this engagement, and I'm gonna be able to trade 3 to 1 and get back into it. I mean, we tell ourselves that, you know, it's like when you get older, you're like, I can still go to the bar and pull whoever I want. I got this, bro. Like, easy. It almost never works out.
No,
but
never.
But do we try? Yeah, we absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's nothing saying we're not going to try. You got to believe
no.
in the heart of the cards.
We'll be in the nursing home and still doing the same thing. So it's but the 155s have decided that they are done celebrating. Tea time, as the Brits like to say, is now over, and they're probably going to obliterate this Flak 37. Ooh. Already is the mortar opening up on it. We see a little stun damage. Nothing too crazy here.
Oh, but that's the
nice
mortar
hit right there.
Oh.
And then here come the big boys. Yeah, she's done.
Ooh.
Bye-bye. Sayonara.
Oh,
she's taking the eternal siesta. Bam. 88 done. Panther A being called out down to the south. Going to the same reverse slope of the hill there. To be honest with you, without ColKoenig, I wouldn't want to do it because I'm scared them 155s will just shell it to death. Oh, right. The 120. Oh, they're going for the 120.
Well, it's on fire at will. So you know it's on fire at will because it moved like ever so slightly with a move order, and now it's just firing all willy-nilly, you know? And that's going to start hurting the entire map because these 155s are able to not only kill, but suppress so much.
Right.
And remember, with artillery, you're not trying to kill, you're trying to suppress. Killing is a nice benefit, but like the suppression that the artillery can do can like sway any infantry fight.
Yeah, we see here the mortar trying to counterattack here a little bit, but the 155s are about to open up. What's their fire rate? 8 rounds a minute?
I think that's only for the smoke. I think it's 3 rounds a minute for the HE. Yeah, it's 3 rounds.
The way they fight it out.
God, I like know this game at an autistic level sometimes, I swear.
Yeah, played it too much over the years. We see the 155 shells coming. I mean, it's the hottest action yet.
Direct! Oh, Jesus. Oh, the 155s are singing. Woo!
Yeah, they're absolutely just throwing that big boy round around the house, you know, like that dump truck booty. And there's just, I mean, if you're ColKoenig, I don't know why we're continuing the pain here. I would have been like, all right, I'm done. Go get myself a little cappuccino, an espresso, whatever, a beer. Because like this is up in the north, the French infantry is taking over blocks in the town here. The Germans are kind of like on their last stand on this hill line.
Yep.
I mean, there's still plenty of stuff. Both M10s could move forward. Infantry could move forward. These 155s are now. Oh, they're still hitting that spot. Oh no, one's actually targeting where the Fallschirmjäger and the Pack 40 are.
Yep. Like I said, I think fire at will, and they're just doing whatever it's doing again. But I'd rather see these shells going down range versus it just being there. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Now I can understand like ColKoenig like trying to keep pushing through this.
I imagine a tap out's coming.
Yeah, no, the tap out. Yeah, I can see the tap out coming. But like, if he was on balance and the other guy was on Maverick, right? Like, yeah, I could see the fight continuing. But in a Maverick on Maverick, all right.
Yeah.
We've talked about this plenty of times. You have to worry about your trades versus like territory. And I think that the trades have gone horrible, or at least askew.
I think I'm really bad
the
past 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the past 10 minutes have gone really bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
there it goes.
The momentum really fell apart when that Tiger got blapped by that bazooka team.
Yeah, no, the bazookas and then the M10 killing the 2 Tigers there, I think solidified it turning into a slug match.
Yeah, any chance of ColKoenig's like opening move winning the game or putting him in a position to win the game in like a 25-minute fashion was ended the minute that Tiger got annihilated. I mean, you could nitpick and say there was enough infantry, there wasn't enough this. Yeah, fine, whatever. But like that Tiger getting annihilated completely shifted, but you could see it in how the 2 players played. Ghostdragon played it really safe, really cautious. I mean, he got the dub with a 1,400 point lead in KD, so you can't really critique too much on that move, but I definitely think he could have been a little more aggressive and probably put ColKoenig down a little earlier. But hey, a lot of players, when you're ahead, they kind of just want to play safe, keep that lead, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So I think you were right. From 2045, looking at the chronology all the way down, that's when Ghostdragon actually started like exacting his crazy toll on ColKoenig. So like that 20-minute point.
Yeah, that's what it felt like about that point in time. I think it's about when I said this is probably done, maybe a few minutes after that, because you could just tell. The big thing is decks, like knowing the decks. 4th Fallschirmjäger, especially the way ColKoenig has built it, is not meant to go that deep and that long. So he was clearly like aggressive in A, right, into a very hot B phase.
Yeah.
but even both Maverick on Maverick, the minute his heavy armor started dying, he's got really expensive infantry. His heavy artillery died. His bombers really didn't do anything. So all these expensive units are on the battlefield and not getting value. If that doesn't happen, you're 99% of the time you're losing the game.
I agree. And I would say great game to both players in this.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm eternally grateful to be able to cast the quality of players that we do get on this channel through the SD League and through the Kingdom. So forever am I grateful to these organizations that allow me to cast. And I want to say thank you everyone for making it this far. Graham, you have any last words?
Like, subscribe, and comment.
Yeah, what he said. And with that, we'll get back to you on our next game of Steel Division. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.